Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be all about my breastfeeding essentials. So if you are a breastfeeding or even a pumping mom, this video is for you. I just want to say, keep in mind that these are all the things that have helped me out on my breastfeeding journey. So some of you may find these things not essential or essential. I think it just depends on the person. But I have all of my stuff right here and I'm just gonna get started and get right into it. So if you are planning on exclusively breastfeeding, I feel like there are a few things that, for me at least, are definitely must-haves, essentials that you have to have just on hand. So I'm gonna start in kind of like the pumping slash like milk collecting area, and I'm just gonna start with a haka because I feel like this is super important in the beginning, like especially in the beginning when your milk comes in. So if you don't know, when your milk comes in, typically it comes in like a lot. And so for me at least, my newborn was not fully emptying my breast. And so using a haka to collect on the other side is very helpful in the beginning. It also will help you build a freezer stash if that's something you're interested in. So what I don't really use this anymore, but what I used it for in the beginning was I would just feed my baby on one side and then put this on the other side, and it just would collect like my letdown and any extra milk. Keep in mind though, if you do have a lower supply, maybe don't use this while you're feeding on the other side because it does collect a pretty good amount of your milk. When you put it on, it does have like a strong suction. So if you have a lower supply, you might not want to be collecting that if you need to feed your baby on both sides. But for me, at least in the beginning, this was helpful. I would probably only get like 1 or 2 ounces every feeding with this, but then at the end of the day, that added up to a pretty good amount that I could just freeze. So for me, haka is very nice to have on hand. I would recommend this in the beginning for you. So keeping with the like pumping aspect of everything, even if you're exclusively breastfeeding, in my opinion, you should always still have pumps on hand just in case. I still pump a pretty solid amount because my baby doesn't always eat every like 3 hours on the dot. Like sometimes he will just not be super hungry and he'll go like 4 or 5 hours without eating, and then I have to just pump out so I don't get clogged ducts or anything like that. So having a portable pump, I highly, highly recommend. Even if you are not planning on pumping, I think that you should have a portable pump. It is so helpful. I usually just take this with us if we're going out for a long period of time. My baby right now is going through a phase where he does not like to feed in public because he is so distracted by every noise and literally everything going on. So sometimes when we're out for like a few hours and he's not eating, I have to pump. And the best way to do that for me is a portable pump like this. So this, I don't know the exact brand of this one. I'll just link it below because I got it from Amazon. But it's basically the exact same pump as like the Mom Cozies, if you know those ones, but it was significantly cheaper. And it's literally the exact same. I used the Mom Cozies with my first baby, and then I got this one with my second baby. It's the exact same pump, it's just cheaper. So I highly recommend these. You just put them in your bra and they work beautifully. So portable pump is something that you definitely should have. So next I just have one more pump, and that is more of just like a heavy duty pump, which I also would recommend having this again, even if you aren't planning on pumping, because there will be times where you will need to pump. It's kind of just inevitable, I feel like, especially in the beginning. If you are wanting to like build up your supply, maybe get a little bit of an oversupply or just have some extra milk to freeze, you're probably going to want to pump a little bit. So this is the one that I use, and this honestly is the one that I just got with my insurance. Your insurance will give you a free pump when you have your baby, and every insurance I think is different. But I use this with my first baby as well, and I really didn't have any issues with it. It's the Medela Pump and Style. I do like that it's pretty small and compact. I just keep it in like a little basket in one of the drawers, and it works really well. I get a solid amount of milk from this. It definitely has more suction. Like I said, it's a little bit more heavy duty than like the portable pumps. So I usually will use this just like if my baby has a bottle and I have to pump, or sometimes at night I'll just like pump before I go to bed, again, just to get a little bit of a freezer stash. And this is what I use for that. So again, I feel like I can't stress enough, just get a pump, even if you're not planning on pumping. I did not do that with my first baby because I was planning on exclusively breastfeeding. And then I quickly realized that you still need a pump. Like, no matter what, you're gonna use it at some point. So there's a lot of pumps on the market. Just do your research, maybe try out a few different ones and see which one works best for you. I've heard really good things about like the Spectras and stuff like that. But just in general, look for kind of more of like a solid heavy duty pump. My next breastfeeding essential, again, this is more so for just the beginning when you first start breastfeeding, is these silver nursing cups. These are the Silverettes, and these work fabulous in the beginning again. I used these when we were in the hospital and then a few days out. So I probably used them for like a total of like maybe 4 or 5 days. And they work wonderfully at just keeping your nipples and your boobs and everything like from not cracking and bleeding and hurting really bad, because in the beginning they really do hurt pretty bad. They just look like this, and I would just put them in my bra after every single feeding, and it really, I don't know like what the technology is behind this. I know it has to do with the silver, but they just work great. And so in the beginning, I would just do it and be proactive about it and use these, and I feel like you will for sure save yourself some pain, because the beginning is super painful. And then going along with the Silverettes, you're going to definitely want to have some nipple butter. I don't have any on hand because I don't need to use it anymore. But in the beginning, again, those first like at least probably the first like 5 days, you're gonna be slathering that nipple butter on. What I would do actually is after every feeding, I would just put the nipple butter on and then put the Silverette on top and then have my bra just over that. That works amazing. You can also take some of your milk and put it on and then put the Silverette on top. That works great too as like a more natural nipple butter. But just in general, you want to be like lubricating your nipples with something, otherwise they are going to hurt really bad and like crack and stuff. So nipple butter and Silverettes work really well together. If you are going to be collecting any extra milk, or you want a freezer stash or anything like that, you are going to need milk bags to collect your milk and freeze them in. These are the ones that I use. They're by the brand Parents' Choice. We just get them from Walmart because they are super cheap, honestly. Like, I don't really need to be spending like a bunch of money on milk pads. I feel like they're pretty much all the same. I will say the ones from Walmart are surprisingly more durable, I think, than the more expensive ones. I was using the Up and Up brand from Target before, and I actually like these a lot better. They're just like thicker. They have like a little spout on the end for when you're pouring the milk out, and they just work really well. And they have, you know, the spot for the date, how many ounces, like all that stuff, and they just work really good. So I do recommend this brand in particular if you're looking for a good milk bag, because it's cheap and it's super durable. As far as nursing covers go, I think this is different for every person. I personally am at a phase right now where I enjoy using a nursing cover, but there's also been times where I don't enjoy using a nursing cover. So I decided I was just gonna include it in case you are looking for one. I don't think it's like absolutely necessary to have a nursing cover, because you can always like throw a blanket over. The problem that I find with using a blanket is that my baby will just kick it off or like throw it off with their hands, and then my boob is out. So this is like a little bit more secure. It makes me feel more comfortable when we're like in a super crowded place. But this is the one that I use. It's from Amazon. It doubles as a stroller cover as well, I'm pretty sure, like a car seat cover. I've never used it for that though. I just use it for nursing. But it just goes over your head like this and then around you like this, and it works really great. Like, I have full movement and stuff of my arms. Like, it's not constricting, it's loose, it's comfortable, and I can like see what my baby's doing. I can peek under it too. So I really like this one. It's a cute print too, but they have like tons of these on Amazon that you can get too. But just in general, if you are looking for a nursing cover, this is a really good style to try. And my last few essentials are more like supplements-ish kind of. So the first thing I'm going to talk about, and this is like a huge thing, if I could recommend probably one thing, it would honestly be this, and that is brewer's yeast. It's basically just this powder that you can add to like a variety of different foods or drinks or whatever, and it really, really helps milk supply. I know that there are so many things on the market that people promote to help with milk supply, and I feel like it can be really confusing because you don't know if it's like a gimmick or if it actually works. But I swear by brewer's yeast. I make lactation cookies with this, I put it in smoothies, I put it in oatmeal when I'm feeling like my supply is getting a little low, and it's like that. It works so good. So I highly recommend this, just trying it out. It obviously is going to work differently for everyone, but in general, I hear most people say that brewer's yeast really works on helping them with their supply. So this is the brand that I use, and I get this from Amazon. It's called Kate Naturals Premium Brewer's Yeast Powder, and it's gluten-free, it's unflavored, unsweetened. So primarily I will just use this in my lactation cookies, but it's really easy to throw in smoothies as well because you don't taste it. It does kind of have like a taste and a smell to it. So if you're adding it to something like a smoothie or cookies, you're not going to taste it, which is good. But just in general, maybe have this on hand for just those random times when you feel like your supply is dipping a little bit, and give it a try. My next breastfeeding essential is sunflower lecithin. This is a lifesaver for me. I get some by the brand Legendary Milk, but they have a variety of brands that you can choose from. Basically what this is it breaks up clogged ducts, if you've ever had that. If you don't know what a clogged duct is, sometimes when you are not emptying your breast as much as you should be, the milk will get clogged in there and it causes like a lump, a really painful lump. And then if you leave it and that doesn't get taken care of, it will turn into mastitis, which is awful. I've only had it one time and it is terrible. So I keep these on hand. I get the big bottle. You can take this two different ways. If you want to just kind of like maintain your milk supply and like make sure that you're not getting any clogged ducts, you can take one a day, which is typically what I do because I'm like more prone to getting clogged ducts. So I like to just make sure and be proactive about it. If you don't want to take it once a day, you can also just take it when you feel a clogged duct, and you can take it up to 4 times a day when you're feeling that. And I'm not even kidding, almost every single time I've had a clogged duct and I take this, it gets rid of it. It basically just breaks up the literal clog and just like makes it go away almost instantly. I feel like within a day or 2 days usually it will do that. So this stuff is amazing. Research it, see what you think, try it, have it on hand just in case. But like in general, this is a huge lifesaver for clogged ducts and mastitis. And then the last little thing I have is just a hydration drink. This again isn't like super essential, but in general, hydration is such a huge part of your milk supply and breastfeeding, all that stuff. And I'm someone who kind of just gets tired of drinking just like plain water. I'm really bad about it. I don't remember to do it. So I will usually make myself like one hydration drink a day. So what I will do is I will get like my big Stanley and just fill it up with ice. And then I use Body Armors. I feel like people have mixed opinions of these, but I honestly really like them. They don't have like a ton of sugars, and they have coconut water in them, which is super helpful for hydration. So I will fill up a Stanley with ice. I will put in a Body Armor, and then I will put coconut water in as well. And I will drink like one of those a day. And I feel like it just boosts my hydration rather than just drinking water all day. I feel like it kind of maintains my supply a little bit better and just keeps me more hydrated. So just like in general, you can do coconut water, you can do like electrolytes, liquid IV, like there's tons of stuff on the market, but I really love these for just keeping me hydrated. So those are all of my breastfeeding essentials. I hope that this video was helpful for you. If you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comments, and like and subscribe if you would like to, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.